I saw one of your tweets, man, and I don't want to open this can of worms, but it is part of the narrative about the Nuggets. It is the disrespect angle that they talk about all the time, day after day. And like most things, some of it warranted? Yes, sure. They did not get the attention that a team with their winning
EA hates this,
percentage.
Tony. He hates this
It
stuff.
just drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. But to say that the idea that Jokic isn't respected just is like, wait a minute, he's a two-time MVP. Like he
Yeah,
won it twice. What are you
yeah.
talking about? What do you mean he doesn't get respected? He literally was given the award as being the best player in the league 2 years in a row, and he finished second this year. What are you talking about?
Well, let me
It
ask
drives me
this.
nuts.
Let me ask you this. If Jokic gets a two-time MVP and a media member, I don't know how respected I am, but a media member like myself, I'll use myself as the example. I say, you know what? Nikola Jokic is either the fifth or the sixth best player in the league. I would
What the hell are
go,
you talking about, Tony John?
yeah, I'm talking about me. Like, listen, I would say, like, before this playoff run, I would have gone, um, I would have said Giannis, then I would have said Steph, then I'm saying KD and LeBron, and I'm not talking about regular season. I'm talking about postseason
Yeah.
as the postseason, and then I'm getting to Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic, right? All right. So is that so was I being disrespectful to Jokic heading in?
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
were, but I was saying,
me thinking I that don't
oh,
he's think the so. fifth best player in the
yeah.
league in a playoff setting, that if that was disrespectful to Jokic, then maybe the Nuggets
Yeah,
have a
but
reason
that's
to feel
but you're
like it was
one media member. My point is that
I'm not the only one that thought that though.
I understand that. No, you're right. You're right. But what I'm saying is like you can you can have a discussion, and this is the problem. We can't have a discussion about anything anymore. Like you could have a discussion about Jokic versus Embiid versus Giannis versus Steph, right?
Right.
I happen to think Jokic is one or two in the league, and I thought that all year. Like it's there are three guys. At the end of the day, you got to pick one first. I picked Embiid first. I'm trying to remember if I picked Jokic second or third because Giannis was in there. I cannot remember. I'm not going to say one way or the other because I'll be wrong. But it's not the same as thinking that nobody the argument or the narrative that you would hear is that everybody hates Jokic, and that's just not true.
Right.
That's
That's
not
not
true. Like people don't think Jokic can play. That's not true. Everybody thinks Jokic can play. It's just a matter of do you pick him or somebody else to be the MVP in a given year. That doesn't mean you hate Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
there's nuance here that you have to have. Even as a fan, you have to have some nuance about your team and your star player.
Well,
Well,
I think that
also,
well,
I think it's not. I'm with Tony on this in the sense that why shouldn't Jokic have to go through this? What superstar, what elite player has not gone through this exact same thing?
yeah,
Why should
that's true.
Jokic
That's true.
not get the same? Like if he's on that level, he's got to go through this. And you know what? If he don't win a championship, it ain't over. Like he's still gonna have to hear it. You got to win. Like he is of that cloth. But who are we kidding? Like this ain't his first postseason. He ain't 5 years in. Like this is eighth season, right? Like he's had time to win a championship and he hadn't done it. He's had some good playoff runs. He's had some suspect ones. He's got it, but he ain't done this before. So
Right.
okay, I think it's fair that some people weren't gonna crown him with the likes of LeBron and Steph and Giannis if he hadn't done this yet, right? Like to me, like this is a natural progression for what his career has been. It was fair to wonder if he was this guy, but now at this point, anybody questioning that is crazy. But to
right.
me, it was fair.
That's what
It
it
was
is.
fair.
Like
That's
that's
fair.
what it is
No,
for
no,
me.
that's a good point. That's a good point,
And,
Rudy.
and that was my point for me. I'm like, okay, people are saying, how can you have him as the fifth best player in the world? I'll say, okay, because I judge the best players in the world by what they do at the highest levels of basketball. And right now, at the highest levels of basketball, I'm taking Giannis, Steph, I'm taking LeBron, and I'm taking Kevin Durant. And everybody else is after those four. And those four guys have all earned it. Those are all guys who have won championships and
Right.
who have NBA Finals MVPs, all of them. So the fact of the matter is that, you know, when I was having this argument and everybody on Twitter was calling me everything but a child of God, you know, I said what Jokic has to do for me is he has to have a deep playoff run and he has to dominate a playoff run. Well, he's done it. Like, he's been historic. He's averaging a triple-double. He's doing things that only Wilt Chamberlain have done. Okay? Like, he's been indescribable. And, you know, so now my thought right now is that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. And, you know, I don't know who's second, but at this point, we're just fighting for second at this point.